fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head. It's gotta be biblical.
Good day. Welcome to Patriots Across the Pond, which today I'm going to rename as One Patriot on one side of the pond, the correct side, because my dearest podcasting pal, Elisa, has got a banging migraine. And Midweek Metals without Matt Geiger today, because Maricopa Matt, our sheriff-to-be, as I've named him, is lodging it up in Vegas. So because we had an unfortunate cancellation on Monday, Max Lowen, our guest, our mum was taken to the hospital, so we couldn't come on, and we didn't have a show yesterday because things were going on. There's no way I could not turn up today. And me, being the consummate professional that I am, here I am. Now, this actually sort of reminds me of the good old days when I used to sit here on my own anyway, banging onto a camera, sitting under the stairs. But I didn't really have any viewers then. But we've got a few viewers now. So I see Thomas just turn up in the chat. And we've got Wendy, Jenny and Frank in there already. So much love to you guys for coming to join me. So I don't really know what I'm going to do today. I shall just waffle on about a few things, I think. We've got the chat on the screen. That's all done. Tell you what we'll do. We just play. Let's just have a look at the gold and silver prices. Well, Matt's not here. And he might turn up, he might not. But I don't think he's had too much sleep. So fair play to him. I know what he's doing. He's networking. There's a lot of people there. We've got our event upcoming. So all well and good. And that's fine. I don't mind talking to myself, even though I'm not. So, yeah, gold at the moment is £3,261 sterling or $4,364. Silver is $52.94 and $70.79. So it seems to be just sitting where it was. It might have even gone down a little bit. Our silver expert is not about today, but you get the drift. So I think, you know, not being financial advisors. Hello, Kate. Nice to see you. Not being financial advisors, potentially it is a good time to get involved, you know, and whatever you want to do with crypto or any of these things is, you know, your choice. So, right, let's just, I'm going to play Matt's advert quickly, because if you are in America and you've got 401k on IRA and you're worried about the financial environment at the moment and your money stuck in this, you know, Matt talks a lot about putting this into gold and silver and keeping your money safe, etc., etc. So let's just play this.
Your financial advisor isn't going to tell you this. Your bank won't mention it. And your 401k custodian, they're hoping you never find out. You can convert your retirement account into physical gold and silver. Real metal in your hands or stored exactly where you decide. It's called a gold IRA rollover, and it's 100% legal, 100% IRS approved. And your financial quote experts, they don't get a commission when you take control like this. Wall Street wants your money in their system, in their accounts where they control it. But physical gold, that's yours. Can't be hacked, can't be deleted, can't vanish when the market crashes. Verity Metals, we're the experts. They don't want you to call. Convert your IRA or 401k into gold and silver that you can actually hold. Call 1-888-318-7598 and quote Patriots Across the Pond.
Patriots Across the Pond. Yeah, and if you do invest in gold and silver and make a bit of money, maybe you can get yourself one of these beautiful copper bangles. That is absolutely lovely. I started getting a tingle when I put that on my wrist, and one of our wonderful followers sent it to me in the post, who'd like to remain anonymous, but thank you very much. You know who you are. Absolutely beautiful. And I don't get many gifts at all, but I love little things like that. Little messages, emails. It just spurs me on to keep doing what I am doing. So I was going to say to Matt Geiger, I know what your favourite clip of the week is, Matt, and it's this.
Michelle Obama is a man. Am I right, America? Ladies and gentlemen,
I can guarantee you Matt was cracking up. Maricopa Matt, as I'm calling him from now on, was cracking up when he saw that. Absolutely amazing. So let's just, what have I got to say? Right, look, I'm not going to go through all my news. If anyone's following my Telegram channel, Kate Carter, Stewie, my friends, let's just have a look at some of the comments here today and go through a few of these. Well, we've got some beautiful people in here. Frank. Hi, everyone. Well, it's just hi one, because that's me. Might be just me. Yeah, that was me. Let's go through these. This tune is Deep House. Yeah, that's probably my placeholder. What placeholder was it I put on there today? Can't remember. It might have been Odin and Fatso. See, everyone loves my placeholders, because when I, if we got a guest that comes on a bit late, they're all putting dancing icons in the chat, which is excellent. Yeah, let's party. From Frank there. I did say to these guys, you can come on and have a chat with me if you like, but Wendy's busy, obviously, washing up or doing her hair, or Neil's getting in the way. But I want to see all you guys come on to our family Saturday chat anyway. That's where you're all invited. That's but I did say to Elisa, you know, if we do one of these shows and our guest doesn't turn up, I'll just stick a StreamYard link in the chat, and anyone can come on and join us if you're about. But Elisa's not about, so I probably won't do that today. Who's that? Jenny just said, funny, I just got rid of my migraine with actually that cold cloth, back of the neck and water. Hope Elisa feels better. Thank you. I'm sure she will watch this back. Frank, peppermint oil on the forehead. All by myself, I want to be. I don't mind that. You know, it's that everyone gets a bang of an headache sometimes, or they're out on the piss, on partying, whatever, and some of us just hold the line. That's good. That's what we do. Teamwork makes the dream work. Greetings, everyone, from Kate. They're just all having a little chat in here. Bless, there's another one. My friend's daughter, military funerals today, went to his nursing home last week, all jazzed up. We're seeing more and more people falling by the wayside. Now, we've discussed this in depth. Is it all because of these jabs? Is it something that happened a long time ago? And don't forget, Judy Mikovits has stated that every jab, every shot since 2009 has been a COVID jab. Don't quote me on that. I think that's what she said. So whether that means there's been an mRNA and all these things, dentist anesthetic and flu shots and all this other stuff, you just got to keep your wits about you, people, because there's lots of fuckery out there. Badger Brook, Frank, is StreamYard free? Yes, it is. Now, if you go on StreamYard.com, all you have to do, I think, is add your email address and give yourself a screen name. That's it. If I or you tap on that Patriots Across the Pond Saturday family chat link that is always the same, that always goes in the chat, it goes out on all the Telegram channels in the coming up, it goes out in the newsletter at the start of the week. It's always the same. All you do is tap that link and your computer or phone opens up, and I think you've got the option there just to tap a screen name in and you come on, and then you come in the bottom of the screen here, and then I add people to the screen. I can have 10 windows there of people and 10 other windows potentially of those people sharing their screens. But StreamYard is the simplest tool to use out there. Kate, Stewie, my friend sells copper and magnet brackets and bracelets and rings. Brackets and rings. Oh, I think that might have been autocorrect, but yeah, it's good. I've got other magnets on me, you know, and they're good. I've got orgonite around my neck, big orgonite pendant hanging here. You've heard what Shirley's talking about shungite, how she puts all her water and everything on it. You know, all this natural stuff. It's certainly. When did you say that? Oh, right, yeah. I forgot England are playing tonight, aren't they? Woman, got to cook dinner. Man, got to go football. Captain Caveman. Stewie's going solo today. It's okay. I hope Elisa gets to feel better soon. Thank you, Jarrett B. 3179. Thank you so much. And all that. Right, that's that. So, get rid of that bullion by post. I don't need that out anymore. I've done that. So, we've got, let me show you this picture, because this is amazing. Again. Now, obviously, we've got the Iran peace deal has been signed. Now, has it just been signed? Or was it signed a long time ago? Are we watching Wag the Dog? If you don't know what Wag the Dog is, Google that. It's filmed with Robert De Niro and stuff, how they can make all these things. Because unless you're over in Iran or Ukraine or anywhere, you haven't got a clue what's going on, right? It said it on the news, or someone told me this on Telegram, right? Posted a video of drones getting shot down or something. Let's take that off the screen. I forgot that was still on there. So, you don't know what's going on. So, was it signed a long time ago? Is this the public rollout of the signing? Because, I mean, if Q is a LARP, you tell me, an exact, this is from Dr. Russell McGregor, an exact 8-year data. The Iranian peace deal will be formally signed on Friday the 19th of June, 2026 in Switzerland. What if the regime change is in Israel? What if this triggers the removal of Netanyahu? Have the people of Israel had enough global humiliation? So, Q drop 2018 1558 June the 19th 8-year delta, free Iran, fight regime change, people have the power, we stand with you, Q. Now, does anyone think that's a coincidence? Does anyone think Q's some lark sitting in his basement? I don't. I'm just going to go through my list of scribble that I've got down and just chat about it. I think I've done my copper bangle. Maricopa Matt. I like that. I hope he's going to pick up on that. Truth Stream. It wasn't Joe. Joe's on Hollybobs. Scott Stone did an interview with James Harlow I don't know if it's spelled J-A-I-M or J-A-I-M-E, so it's either Jame or Jamie, but Jame has it as Jame. They had it on the website, on the podcast as Jame E. So it's one of those, but that is one of the most amazing things I've seen. Go and watch that. It's about a week old. This man's knowledge is phenomenal. Such a good interview, and it's almost a Jaffanon and Sapioplex, control your emotions sort of an episode, but it really goes into the technical side of things, and it's amazing. That's great to see. Oh, that's fucking interesting as well. Let me go. I didn't realise that was on my list. I'm just going to Google something now. Google Maps, and it is E. Miller Drive, Southwest. Now, what do we see here? This, whereabouts is that? This is in Atlanta. Now, I hope I haven't lost it. No, this is in Atlanta. This, I believe, is or was an old military barracks, or is a military barracks. And I believe it was taken over or bought out by Tyler Perry Studios. I can't remember the exact information, but people were talking about it. And what is this here? This looks to be an exact replica of the White House. Not all the surrounding areas, obviously, but if that's a military barracks and it was taken over by a movie studio or vice versa, do you think, I can't get down to a street view on this, do you think that is the White House, isn't it? Look. Do you think they might be able to film a few things there or fake a few things? You haven't got the area here, obviously, where Trump would land in Marine One and then walk up the White House lawn. Does he go in that side? Yes, I think he does. But that's interesting. And we've heard there's potentially one or two more of those about. Anyway, so Tulsi Gabbard, let's play this. We might as well document all this stuff because if people haven't seen this, they're going to want to be watching. It's a 3.5 minute video. There it is. Right, bear with me because my speed's on 1.7.
After months of searching through intelligence community holdings and files, today I'm releasing new evidence of long-standing U.S. government funding of more than 120 biolabs in over 30 countries. Now, these biolabs include labs in places like Ukraine, which could be at risk of compromise due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, the intelligence community had previously warned that a U.S.-funded biolab in Ukraine likely housed dangerous pathogens and remained vulnerable to long-standing threats of Russian attack, seizure, or damage. Now, until now, evidence regarding the full existence and funding of these laboratories had been knowingly withheld from you, the American people. Many of these U.S. government-funded biolabs are currently or have previously engaged in research using hazardous and highly contagious pathogens, and in some cases included dangerous gain-of-function research with very little visibility or oversight. Now, President Trump clearly understands the serious threat dangerous gain-of-function research poses to the American people. And this is why he took decisive action over a year ago. On May 25th, 2025, he signed an executive order to end federal funding of gain-of-function research around the world. Here at ODNI, I issued new guidance to the intelligence community directing increased collection on these laboratories and facilities overseas. And we're already seeing the results of this increased collection. We're learning new details, for example, on clinical trials that are underway at these facilities and that are raising significant ethical, financial, and security concerns regarding the supposed public health initiatives and U.S. national security. Now, despite the obvious potential for catastrophic global impact that research on dangerous pathogens in biolabs can have, politicians and so-called health professionals like Dr. Fauci, as well as entities within the Biden administration's national security team, lied repeatedly to the American people about the existence of U.S.-funded and supported biolabs. Not only did they lie, they threatened those who attempted to expose the truth. So this release today breaks new ground, as the information surrounding the existence, history, locations, and funding of these U.S.-funded biolabs has been intentionally covered up by very powerful people who falsely claimed that these biolabs didn't exist. Now, they accuse anyone who says otherwise to be foreign assets and traitors to America. Now, Odie and I will continue working closely with partners across the U.S. government to identify exactly where these labs are and what pathogens they contain to end dangerous gain-of-function research that threatens the health and well-being of the American people and people around the world.
Remove that. So that's very interesting. We did say Tulsi was going to drop a few bombshells, didn't we? And that's a major one. We've been talking about this for 3, 4, 5 years, however long it's been. Bioclandestine. A lot of people don't like him, but he was really digging into this. Absolutely superb stuff. And this is when we were talking about earlier on when Putin went into Russia and was strategically bombing sites. This is where we found out that he was potentially taking out all the bioweapons labs. So it's very interesting that all this is coming out now. Talk about timing. But great. So that's a great thing. English Orc has just turned up. Hi, Chris. How are you doing? I think that's right. Yeah. And I see Lidard in the chat. Now, you've been in our chat a few times. It would be lovely if you could put your first name in there for me, because I am making a little list so I know everyone's names. I think it's quite nice to do that, which is great. So, yeah, we keep our eyes on this. This is all roads lead to Obama. Fauci's been named, and, you know, this can't keep going on and on and on indefinitely, can it? We are building to some scare event, precipice moment, big arrest, whatever it is, you know. So it's going to be good. We had the UFC 250 at the White House. Great event. I saw loads. I was in a few chats. Loads of people were trying to watch that online. They were having all their feeds cut out and stuff. I wasn't watching it live. I went to bed. I thought I'd catch up in the morning. Like I do most of the time. And I think a lot of people were sitting there waiting for the EBS to go off, actually, but I don't date fag like that anymore. I've sat up far too long waiting for things to happen. And Helen, that's absolutely amazing. Thank you, Helen. I shall add you to my list. And yeah, but then we also saw there was a assassination attempt foiled. Now, was this 23 people, drones coming in, and then they were meant to set up loads of drones with bombs on them, and they were meant to set up loads of snipers on the perimeter that were going to gun everyone down as they ran out? Listen, there's a reason majority of that crowd was 4,300 military personnel, don't you think? And I don't think this story, personally, right, this story we hear was happening at the UFC. Trump was sitting there, testicles in a wheelbarrow in front of him, not giving two fucks. So I personally think that this was a plot, potentially even another event that happened a long time ago, but this is being put into the public narrative now that they were going to do it at this event, you know. Potentially that can happen because, you know, we only know of, well, the public only knows of 4 assassination attempts against Trump. We in the Anon community have heard of potentially dozens and dozens and dozens. out of our scope and what the military actually knows, how many have there been? You know, there was another video come on the other day that a few people were posting, so I watched, and it was, I can't remember the lady's name now, but she had on a guy, Mr. X, and didn't show his face. I always think about people that don't show their face. You know, it's understandable. Some have got some great information, some have got stuff to hide, but it was either decent information, right, or it was someone dooming and glooming and blackpilling, and I've had enough, stressing out sort of stuff. So this is why I say, you know, discernment is key, and don't watch any. I personally don't watch anything that doesn't lower my vibration, you know. But sometimes, if a lot of people are posting stuff, I do want to watch these things just to see what people are saying. It's funny, isn't it, with this Iran deal, that the fact that the Dow is surging and oil prices are absolutely plummeting. So the TDSers, the left, a lot of these people on this side, like that, all of a sudden, a boomerang's come in, and I haven't got anything to talk about. Now, is this peace deal going to be finalised? Has it already been finalised? Saving Israel for last is very, very important in the Q jobs. We are starting to see the optics turn. Trump is, what, Bibby, what the fuck are you doing? If it wasn't for me, you'd be in fucking jail. Do you know what I mean? And Trump said, you know, Israel's doing a really bad job. You know, they couldn't do it. Syria is going to do it. The guy we put into Syria, he's done a fantastic job. So Israel is really being put in the crosshairs. Not necessarily all the people that control it, the deep state, the cabal, the fucking Khazarian mafia, and whoever else these fucking twats are. Look, you're on one side or the other. And I think a lot of people are stuck in a system they know nothing about, right? You can't say all Jews are bad. You can't say all blacks are bad. You can't say all Christians are bad. You can't say all Muslims are bad. You can't say all gays are bad. You can't say any of this stuff, right? Or the trans movement is all bad. Do you know what I mean? Because in every walk of life, there are beautiful people that are, RDS said it, didn't he? You know, the intelligence agencies. You can't stress it enough that 90% of the people are good people stuck in a bad environment. And there's always people that are going to spoil it for the rest of us. Now, I'll tell you a little story. I am a cyclist. I dress up in Lycra and I go out on a mountain bike and my road bikes. And some people, and a lot of car drivers, might think, what a complete cunt that is. But I'm not. I'm a decent cyclist. I'm very aware when I go out on the road. And my cycling club are also very good. There's another cycling club around here who are not so good, right? But if we're cycling 2x2 in a line, you know, quite a few of us, and we're on the smaller roads and someone shouts car back, we all move into single file, we let the car past, you know, it's all this wave and nice stuff and all that. But there's always a car driver that hates cyclists, right, who spoils it for the car drivers. And then there's cyclists that spoil it for the rest of us, right? So, you know, I know people that will sit 4 abreast cycling down the road, cars behind them, not giving 2 fucks, right? We own the road, we're doing it on purpose and all that. So it doesn't matter what you're doing and what organisation or club or religion or anything like this. You can't label everyone as the same, because the majority of people are good, but there's always fucking cunts in all of them. You've got to understand that. And this whole, what I'm saying now, is the reason why I think that drop, and there's 2 drops, the whole picture and the truth will put 99% of people in the hospital, because I believe that many of these people do know not what they were part of. Doctors, nurses, even though many do at the higher echelons of this: doctors, nurses, teachers, chemists, bankers. You know, the list goes on and on. People in religion. You know, we've heard a lot of people talk about this, and the Bible's been moved about, and the Quran, and the Talmud, and the Torah, and all these books, right? That they've been rewritten and written and written. And would God write a book for you to follow if you were God's perfect creation and you were out in nature? You don't need a book. You look at the stars and the signs and the wind and the rain and the sun. You get me? I'm not looking at the chat at all at the moment. I'm just sitting here waffling on. But you've got to understand, if people realise that the people they've been worshipping are not the people they've thought they've been worshipping and are actually the opposite, a lot of people are going to be in a lot of trouble up here and in the heart and soul and whatever. So that, to me personally, is the only reason that drop makes a lot of sense. Forgive them, dear Lord, for they know not what they do. And I don't mean that to these fuckers that do know what they're doing, the paedophiles and these fucking people that take bribes and blackmail and send people to war and all this other stuff, cabal members. You could label them under the cunt sticker all day long in my book. Anyway, there's so many psyops going on at the moment. And this, if you're one of these trust the plan, full control people, and you see something going on, and I've said this many times, bicameral thinking, who's doing it? Is it the bad guys actually doing that in control of Keir Starmer, making him do all these things? Or is he being pushed by the good side, you know, to make all these mistakes? But every time you see a psyop, if it's over the top, it's an op. Every time you see one, and you think, why is that happening? It engages the people that are not looking. Say Trump says, you know, Tucker, Candice, Alex Jones, etc., all talking about Israel. All these people, all the left want to go and see what Tucker, Candice, Alex Jones are talking about. And they dig. You know, and what they're seeing now, you know, when Twitter was cabal, potentially, and all these bots were everywhere, and they thought they were the majority, and there was more of them. It was just constant slagging off for the far right and the Republicans and common sense and stuff like that. But now we have got a common ground on Twitter, and we're being reactivated, and there's loads of us on there. When these people with TDS and liberals or whatever go to research these things, all these things keep popping up. This is why all this stuff keeps popping up in the news narrative. You know, and Michelle Obama is a man. People who've never heard that we've been saying for years, you know, Michael and I, Hussein, and all these other mistakes he's made, Michael Lavon Robinson and stuff, they're going to go and research that, and they're going to see all these videos of Big Mike on stage with Ellen, Hussein Obama saying Michael and I. They're going to be seeing all this stuff. Oh my God, I never knew that. So you've got to understand why the White Hats are doing all this psyopery. Stu isn't looking at the chat. I'll catch up on his speech afterwards. Happy birthday, Neil, for tomorrow. I can't go back through all these. Oh, Helen. Right, that's the thing. Holly Solano. That's who Mr. X was on. Wendy, thank you. Trump goes to me. Oh, yeah. Trump goes to tell the G7 what the new rules are. Let me show you a video about that, which I've only just added, I think, because Trump bowls in there. This is class. Trump, I am the boss.
No, I'm the boss. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Trump, I'm the boss. You see that handshake he did with Macron? Macron. You know he's in charge there, all these people simping around him. Let me just take a little water. Steven Spielberg gone a long time ago. Well, we think this about a lot of these people. We can't prove it, you know, because a lot of these people who we do think to be savage paedophiles might not actually be. And, you know, Steven Spielberg putting out these movies, maybe someone's taking over Steven Spielberg's name, the White Hats, and are putting out movies pretending to be Steven Spielberg. You know, there's everything we hear. There is so many plausible scenarios that we have to think of all of them. But if you're watching everything unfold, that whoever does something, right? If the dark side try and pull off some sort of false flag thing, or the White Hats are staging one, it's setting people down the same path on this awakening. Thomas, DC just became the military-based district of Washington. Well, I do think that, you know, that was taken on over a long time ago, wasn't it? A peaceful transition to military power. That was in 2020. I wonder if I don't even know when that video is. Surely. I might have it saved in here. I probably haven't, actually. No, I don't think no, that's not there. But you all remember the guy saying that in military gear with a mask on his face? 2020, I think. That was 2021, maybe. That's when all the military had their backs turned to Joe Biden, Jim Carrey, whoever it was. Let's take that off there. And I know I said to people, if you've got a question, type it in capitals. But if you do have a question, just put a question mark on it, because then that shows up a little question mark in the boxes in the chat, which I think that might be a new thing to StreamYard. But it's quite interesting because it helps me see the questions. Was the Apostle Paul the first deep stater? Now, I can't answer that. I haven't got a clue about that. But who was talking about that the other day? Listening to or talking to, can't remember. But yeah, that's interesting stuff. Happy birthday to Neil for tomorrow. Ho, ho, ho. And I just want to say to Frank as well, I saw you put a comment in there that StreamYard is free. I don't know whether it's trying to guide you into paying for it, but I pay for StreamYard, but I never used to pay for StreamYard, and it worked absolutely fine. I could do what I'm doing now, but the paid StreamYard allows me to do a lot more, allows me to have all these video clips in there and stuff, and put backgrounds on and various other things. But if I put a link out for you to join us on the Saturday family chat, all you got to do is press it and it should open up, right? All pending what browser you're on, because I think people might have had problems if they're not on Chrome before, or whether they're using Brave or etc. Okay, Stu isn't looking at chat. I'll catch up on his speech afterwards. Right. They have to do, yeah, they do. Yeah. I totally agree with that. We've been saying that for a long, long time. Yeah, I don't know who that's talking about, but no one cares if anyone's gay or not. No one ever did. You know, apart from the occasional bigot, right? I've got loads of amazing gay friends. But the problem we've got is the fact that it's not just LG, lesbian, gay and bi, is it? They started adding all these numbers on with the goal in the end to legalise, put a P on the end, legalise paedophilia, right? You look at groups like Gays Against Groomers, they are you know, they had 65,000 people in their Twitter account when it got shut down years ago. You know, all these people are speaking up because people can see this agenda behind it. Not only are they mutilating children, they're pushing all this healthcare and these drugs on them. They're trying to normalise this, and they're trying to get children involved, putting all drag queens in schools. And I don't like drag queens as an adult. I never have done. It's all just gutter humour constantly. And I'm not like it. I mean, most of the gay comedians, that are on the TV and stuff, most of their humour is double entendres, isn't it? About, you know, not children, obviously, but about body sex and all these. Just it's being weaved into the narrative, right? I love gay people. I love everyone. I've got some amazing fucking gay friends who I have partied with in the past. I can tell you that. But it's just this comes back to that same old thing, right? It's either good, evil, Cain, Abel, if you want to go down that road, or you're just a fucking decent person trying to do the right thing, or you're a fucking cunt. Right? I can't say any better than that. I'm just reading. Stream, yeah, there you go. StreamYard only offering a 7-day trial, then you have to pay. I really don't think that's correct. I will look into it afterwards. My cousin moved. Yes, I'm on Brave. Well, there you go. See, I'm on Brave as well. I also have Google installed in the background, I think. But I use Brave for any searching and most of the stuff I do. But certain things you can't really get around it that well. I mean, you can't go shop if you got to buy anything online. You can't do it on Brave, can you? You have to go on Google. You know, Brave doesn't have a Brave shopping section, and you can't, you know, do all these searches and all this stuff come up. You know, I'm looking for some monitors at the moment. When I went to America to see Elisa, I bought a new laptop because it was much cheaper for me to buy it out there. I got an excellent deal, but it was going to take a month to arrive, so I ordered it nice and early. Then I ordered some of these Monduro screens, right? That it sits over the back of the laptop and just folds out like that, and you've got 3 screens. Just plug in, bosh, which would be ideal for me. I couldn't do what I do unless I had 2 screens minimum. And then when I'm going away, you know, to these summits or whatever like that, or if I have a holiday, or if we get in the solar or gold goes to the moon, your silver or XRP, any of these things that I've invested little bits in, and I can be able to go and travel. I want to be able to podcast from wherever I am. So I bought this screen March the 18th. Haven't turned up yet. They keep fucking messing me about, and they were conversing with us, so it's not ready yet. It's meant to be delivered in 4 to 7 days, but they're not here. So I'm looking at cheaper screens at the moment. So, all right. Genuine LGB have nothing to do with LGBTQ. Exactly that. I mean, look at all the chat about it's not a paedophile, it's a minor attracted person. I mean, you know, and this is it with the trans movement and stuff like that. You know, I feel genuinely that some people feel that they are born in the wrong body and they want to go down this route. But, you know, as an adult, you should be able to do whatever you want to do, but it shouldn't be pushed on children. You know, they shouldn't be pushing these drugs that they use to castrate paedophiles in prisons, right, for this gender affirming care on children, right? You know, and cutting all bits of their arm off to give them certain other bits of their body that they think they're missing, you know, vice versa. It's just the mutilation of it it's horrific. And, you know, potentially when all these guys and gals find out that this was an agenda to push to another part of the eradicate God movement, how are they going to feel? The truth will put 99% of the people in the hospital. You know, not all bad. So you know, I can't vouch for Antifa or anything like that, but because I think they're vile. But some of these people, even in these movements, are so brainwashed They actually think that they're doing the right thing. Can you imagine that? They actually think, Trump is a Nazi. Anyone with a MAGA hat on is a white supremacist, woman-hating, bigot, racist. It's pathetic. You want to go and watch that? And I've mentioned this before. Millie Weaver from InfoWars it was a 45-minute documentary called Love Trumps Hate. Brilliant. Just shows you the vile and vitriol of these brainwashed radical left coming out in their mouths. And it was all about a Trump rally. And she got this black guy from one side of the street that was standing with all these lot, bringing them. He said, I can't go over there because they're all racist and all this stuff. She took them over and they were all full of love, coming with us and this sort of stuff. It was amazing. That's a great 45 minutes to watch if anyone wants to go and watch it. Right, I'm just going through these. We the people are hurting. Yes, we are. But, maybe we've got to hurt some more because the majority of people still do not give the slightest fuck, do they? And I know they're scared because they've all been jabbed up, but, how many of them will go and get another one tomorrow if we had the antivirus and wear masks and you got to do this and stuff? My gay friend hates the LGBT bollocks. Yeah. Things should happen quickly now. Here, Thomas. I totally agree. Yeah. The UFC fight and disclosure movie were huge steps in the plan. Now, I know I did hear a few people say that you don't want to watch the disclosure movie because they might have, frequencies coming out and it might be a bit demonic and stuff like that. But I know Kate's been to see it and all that, and she recommended it. She said it was pretty decent, actually. So I might even go and watch that at some stage. What else we got here? Journey. Yeah, I agree. I'm at the point now in this journey, I don't want to hear any hatred. How are we going to accept our galactic brothers and sisters if we can't even get along with other races here? Yeah, and we don't know what's going on, do we, with all these Palladian-looking geezers hanging around with Trump at the White House? I mean, we don't know what that's about. You've got to have an open mind to all this, that big things are coming. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with a girl being a tomboy when I was a kid, and how many blokes have been out dressed as a girl? Do you know what I mean? With a beard like this and stuff, and messing about. I used to, even when I started drinking at 18, in the pub, all the girl mates I used to knock about with. They weren't all tomboyish, obviously, some more feminine girls, but they were more like one of the lads. And all the girls used to drink pints. It was just fantastic times. Growing up in the 80s, man, I was born in 71. So, in the 80s, that was when all the music was. And then at the end of the 80s, that's the last time I really listened to bands and stuff, all through the 80s. And then in the late 80s, 89, 90, that's when all the Beat This, Bomb the Bass and S Express started coming out. I went on the raving side, started DJing, and that was it. That's, the only music I listen to really is house and trance. That's all I've got on my iPod when I go to the gym or go running. Bit of old school jungle. Word is, many people are waking up now. I totally believe that. Yeah, the trouble is, like I say, a lot of them have had this. And if they're waking up and they're coming round to bioweapons labs and Tulsi and all this other stuff, they've got to be going, shit, man. It's sort of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, isn't it? Trying to research with your eyes closed or one eye open. It's like, it can't be nice. This is why we've all been here to plant these seeds for people, and we've got to be here for these fuckers, when they wake up and come to us. Yeah, White Hat movie. I'm going to Admiral Byrd met the same blonde tall dudes in red coats. allegedly. I'm going to catch up. Oh, I've caught up my little sister. Heard Starmer's threatened MPs again. He'll call a general election if he's challenged. Good. Fucking call it. I think this is what he's building to anyway. This bloke is a complete and utter pleb. Whether he's at panic stations or whether he's actually controlled now or whether he's being steered in a certain direction, it all leads to the same route. People are waking up thinking, who is this fucking clown? Right? You know, and all this stuff coming out. Rupert Lowe has just released all the files for the grooming gang scandal. I haven't read through those yet. I've posted them. You know, loads of people are digging through those, talking about it. Terrific stuff. But people are waking up to it, which is fantastic. Put my scroll on. Let's do that. Yes, I'm sure this whole year will be epic. I cannot let it go another year. No, I think people are at boiling points, and it's got to happen, especially with this July the 4th date coming up and Tulsi leaving, etc., etc. Yeah, that's correct. Trump and Putin went to China the other week within 4 days of each other. Plus, there was a huge spaceship showed up in China, allegedly. In my opinion, a lot got saline. Yes. Now, what did I watch the other day which made me start talking about devolved? I think it was a post I made, and I probably deleted that. Hold the line, caller. I did make a big post. Yeah, I can't remember. So, yeah. Go and watch the Devolved 5-parter by Dauntless Dialogue. If you want the links, just give me a shout. Everyone's got my email address. Yeah, my cousin who's waking up sent me the post on Facebook about the tall Nordics. I think Starmer is under submission. So do I, young Jedi. Well done, Wendy. May go on until 2028. Yeah, it may do, right? But this won't go on until 2028, I don't think. These rollouts have got to come, right? Don't forget to rebuild this earth. We might have all new technology coming, a 500-year leap. They might be able to do the roads in a day, you know, and we might not need roads. All these things, medical industry, medbeds might come in. All, you know, you could empty all the hospitals out, bring all this new stuff in. People are walking and go like that, and out they go. Cancer cured, all these sorts of things. Don't know, right? But it is going to take a while to implement all this to actually make this place what it should be. You know, heaven on earth, because it is beautiful here. If we didn't have to work, pay bills, do all this shit, eating crap food, breathing crap air, drinking shit water. People brushing their teeth with fluoride and everything else they've done, getting injected with things, right? And we all could live in harmony with in and out and amongst nature and growing our own fruit and vegetables. You know, there's a lot of talk, isn't there, that we may actually not need to eat, right? Breatharians. Some people are breatharians. They don't eat, right? Maybe we'll all be all telepathic and all this stuff. So it's, you know, it's beautiful what we're looking in for. Anyway, right. Saving Israel for last. Well, there's a lot of stuff coming out about this, you know. I mentioned this earlier, but, you know, Bibi Netanyahu, whether that's him or not, he's been replaced as an actor, whatever. He's really been put in the crosshairs. And I believe with Trump, you know, doing this stuff with Iran publicly, doing this stuff with Ukraine that's coming up, doing all this Abraham Accords with all these, we may see everyone at peace and Netanyahu or Mossad or whatever like this go, fuck it. Samson option, launch missiles, or we may be led to believe that that's what's happening. I've said, haven't I? 4 minute warning, everyone. Israel's launched nuclear weapons everywhere. Okay, well, let's see what happens. But if that happens, I should be pouring myself a glass of wine and looking out of the window. for more than 4 minutes, I believe. Right, Trump, I'm the boss. Yes, someone said to me, and I can't remember who it was, that they couldn't find my doctor's helpline chat on Telegram. So after that, I went and I've opened it up to public. So let me copy that link, which I'm now, in fact, I'll put it up on, let me put it in the chat. Right, that is now public. I'm not a doctor. I cannot give medical advice. Stu's News, Doctors Helpline. And I shall just make a quick banner of that as well for people not in that chat. So, there we go. That is, in that group, I have, in my Telegram to date, I have made, since January 2021, 372 saved messages, 58,350 photos, 49,259 videos, 143 files, 10 audio files, 59,762 shared links, 169 polls, 419 gifts. Out of all that lot, there's over 150,000 posts there, easy. Out of all that, I've piggybacked a lot of doctors' information and relevant stuff since COVID, with protocols, what to do, general health, all these things from all the doctors that have been speaking up against it, and chiropractors and potential things for this and that and everything. There's about 117 posts in there, shall we say. I don't know how many there is, but it's about that. And it's just, if, you know, I always said people would have to come and ask me for that when they woke up. But I can't keep waiting for people. So I decided that I was going to make it public and anyone can share it, because I know everyone has got people that are coming to them now, sort of going, oh, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that as they wake up? So if that helps anyone, and I want everyone as well to scroll back, it won't take you long, to my first post, because that's where I say, important, I am not a doctor. But most of the people that are posting information in there are, which is great. Oh, yeah. And let me just go through this quickly as well, because I made a couple of videos which are pinned in my Telegram chat. Just keep it in the pin videos at the top and it will take you to it. It's called Scamming Fuckers Part 1 and Part 2, where I talk about people pretending to be us on Rumble that are taking our sort of, or trying to be us in the comments and stuff like that. But there's also people doing it on Telegram now. So a couple of my friends said, this is me, important information, along with degenerates cloning our channels, pretending to be us, Elisa and I at Patriots Across The Pond, and trying to sell our always free content on Rumble. I personally have been made aware that these bottom feeders are also surfacing for the lower depths of the pond to try and do the same on Telegram. Keep them peeled, Patriots, and do notify me if any of you get anything similar sent to you. So my dear friend Mish sent me this, and this is a, sorry, I can't make that bigger. This is a, greetings, I am the owner of Stu's News Chat. Could you please let me know when you join the channel? Well, I would never say anything like that. That's retarded language for a start. So anyone sees anything like this, it's not me. And if you do get anything, let me know. These fuckers are everywhere, people. Lisa and I will never, unless we're talking personally to you on here and all that, or you've already got our email address and we've started a conversation, which I like to do. You know, if anyone wants to get hold of me, send me an email and we'll have a conversation. I don't just give out my phone number, obviously. You know, some people have emailed me, here's my phone number. I'm not fucking about. I want you to chat to me. And I'm just not doing that, all right? I want to have a little discussion with someone, get to know what they want to talk about and stuff, and get on it, all right? And then this is 3 channels I've banned, right? Patriots Across the Pond Live, Patriots Across the Pond Project, and Patriots Across the Ponds, you know, with an S on the end of the small p. It's just people pretending to be us, right? Even my chat channel, right? This is me, Stu's News Chatter, right? 2 T's. But there's another one pretending to be me now, Telegram, Stu's News Chatter, right? So this is what you have to, if you get anything that looks like it could be me, you have to look at these handles because they can't copy mine, right? They have to make one up that looks like it, right? So you'll have a capital letter in there somewhere or a missing T there. It's just to try and scam people. Jenny, my mate, got one as well. Yeah, the same thing. There's a missing T there. And Wendy, just give it the big one, right? You can read this back. That's what Wendy said. There's something really important I need to tell you. Fuck off with your dumb shit. Stop scamming people, arsehole. I love you for that. That's how to deal with these creatures. So, yeah. So, I'm not going to read all the rest of those comments. I think I read out a lot of comments today. It was nice. They're all on the screen anyway. So, yeah, how long have we been on? 1 hour, 1 minute, 33 seconds. That's it. Oh, I'll tell you what I am going to do. Right? To finish. This, to me, personally, and should be to a lot of you, I think, the most important video you're going to see at the moment. Now, I don't know where I've put it. There it is there. I did have it up. Bear with me. Right. This is Elizabeth April. She's just done one of her latest videos on her channel, YouTube, connecting with Jesus, a message from the Ascended Master. She's sort of like remote viewed or, you know, got herself in and all that and sort of connected, whatever. Right. But this message she gives out is something that I've been saying to people for a long, long time. Because I know people are going through stress and have anxiety and all these sorts of things. But I know people, when I've said to them, can you look in the mirror and tell yourself you love it, you love you, and not in an arrogant way, you know, sort of stuff. Johnny Bravo, I'm so pretty, we're so pretty. Not like that. Like, I love you, you know, can you do that? And I know people that can't do it. You're never going to have a relationship, or you're never going to have the proper one with other people, or unless everyone takes care of themselves. And once you've taken care of yourselves, then you can help everyone and all this sorts of stuff. But you've got to come from a place of love and strength of character. And if you don't love yourself, right? And Elisa said this when I showed her this, right? She went, "Oh my God," right? But Lisa said, if you don't love yourself, you're not loving God. Just think about that, right? Because if we're all God's creation and you're not loving yourself, you're not loving God. You're not loving your creator. And that's just something I want everyone to be mindful of. But this is 3 minutes, and this is lovely, and it might be hard for some people to hear as well, but love, not fear, people.
It's going to happen in our lifetime. I literally just don't know when. It's like the golden frequency infused into the core, coming outward, okay, across the entire planet. It's like it's interesting because usually source frequency, God frequency, comes in through the crown chakra. It looks white. This is so different. It's coming up through the ground, through our base root chakra and up our systems. And he said, that's interesting. He didn't say there's going to be a moment of great judgment. He didn't say that. That's sort of the implication that I'm getting. It's going to be a moment of judgment. I'm just going to use those words, okay? But he said, so I said, how is that going to happen? Everyone's going to be infused with this Christ conscious energy. And he said there's going to be a moment of choice, essentially. And the choice is going to come down to, and this is fascinating. This is what it is. This is, I don't know why it made me cry. Don't make me cry. It's like the choice or the judgment, when this energy comes through, it's not how good of a person are you. It's not how much you love humanity. It's not how much unity you want for the world. It's not how much spiritual you are, how much you read the Bible, how much you pray, how much you believe in aliens. It's fucking none of that. It comes down to how much do you love yourself? And he said that everyone right now on the planet who is diving into this darkness, who is gaslighting others, who is becoming narcissistic or completely removed from the objective truth of reality, the people who are angry and spiteful and corrupt and narcissistic and projecting, I think we can all think of at least one of those people in our life. We know this, but he's saying that it has nothing to do with anyone else. Those people are being confronted with how much they love themselves or how much they don't love themselves. And they are taking that inner hatred and fear and judgment, and they are projecting it onto anyone and anything else in order to justify the lack of unconditional love they have for themselves.
I thought that was amazing when I watched that. The whole thing's about 40 minutes, I think, so it's certainly worth going to watch, people, for sure. I see Billy's in the chat. I don't know if I said hello earlier. Hey, Billy. And who's just turned up? Robbie, I think. I love bacon. Is Robbie there? What sort of I love bacon? Chat, did I? Where's that gone then? Yeah, I love bacon. Hello all, happy hump day 17. Yeah, so that's it. I'm not doing any more than that. I just had a load of scribble getting down. Tomorrow, party on, Maricopa Matt. Get well soon, my darling podcast pal and partner in crime, Elisa. I will chat with you a bit later. She wasn't in a good way with that banging head. And tomorrow, when Elisa is back, I'm really excited because we've got David Sorensen on tomorrow from Stop Well Control. So that is going to be amazing. And in fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do before he comes on. No, I've already played Matt's outro. I'm going to put David Sorensen's outro on that I clipped from stuff that he was doing. So tomorrow is David Sorensen, Stop Well Control. It's going to be an amazing show. And this is what I clipped from one of the things, and stopwellcontrol.com. There's loads of free stuff on there, movies and stuff. And I really hope to see you back tomorrow. I love you all. Thanks for joining me. And I hope you know or think that I'm actually not too bad at waffling on my own. Where we go, one we go all, though. Love, not fear. And I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining me.